that. I see that K King says acro as well. Let's take a look at this. Hi friends, let's just take Hi friends, let's take a quick look at EOS. Doing really well, weekly time frame bringing us up outside of the Bollinger Bands. Could we see a retrace over the next couple of weeks? Well, sure we could. Even if we retrace down to 550, we're still doing fantastic in terms of where we've come from recently, and we're above our previous highs overall. I wouldn't like to see the prices breaking $5 at this point now that we've come up the way, but you know, let's not be so dogmatic about things. I suppose looking at the 24-hour time frame, if we came down towards 420, then we'd still be getting high overall, really, with regards to the EOS prices. That's the middle of the Bollinger Bands on this 24-hour period. Now, I think it's really key to point out the fact that we're actually existing outside of the Bollinger Bands. Lots of information out there about Bollinger Bands and what that means. I've recently removed my video from public and put it on Patreon only in terms of explaining all this, but I just would say that, of course, you know, I would expect to see prices at current rates the way that they're looking at. I would say that there's a high likelihood of prices coming back down to the sort of 550 area, or 570 perhaps even tomorrow, if this was to just continue being extremely bullish. So even in your best case scenario type thing, it'd probably most likely get some sort of visitation like that. If we see something like this happen as well, with a movement down towards the basis line or the lower end, wouldn't be surprised. Want to see this continue on for a wee while, so that the lower end of it, you know, doesn't continue to expand towards the downside. Want to see this continue, but also not push too far away. So, overall, it's not that makes a massive difference. You kind of don't really look too much towards the sort of extreme lower ends of things when you're trading towards the top side. It's not really exactly how they work, given the standard deviation maths. Anyhow, EOS up the way. Yep, 550 key zone for us with regards to the 236. If we do move down past it, 430 thereafter. So you've got two reasons to look towards sort of 420 to 435, or that 420 to 440 zone if you're looking for your next best re-entry. You've been warned that this is obviously a profit-taking zone here that we're at. Let's just express that in another way, just so that you can see it, you know, twice over. We're above our previous high overall, and we've come up not quite close enough, I suppose you could say, towards that 632 high. Target is 650 there on that one. Well, yeah, let's call it close enough. Came up close enough really for that one as well. And yeah, let's just kind of put this into even more context for us. Yeah, so we have got targets towards the higher side, and we've done really well, trending towards the top side so far. Let's bring in some moving averages and hide off the Bollinger Bands actually here with this one. Now, if there's anything you'd like me to look at, then be sure to subscribe to the channel and tune back in again and let me know, or drop a comment down below and I could take a look at it again in a future video. So yeah, great. So everything's looking good in terms of moving averages. If we do slope back down the way, then I mean that we will see one at one point, and it will be at current rates. What we're looking at is, in terms of percentages, you're looking at around about 10% to 15% quite likelihood for a pullback at some point. So there you go for your next best entry for you. Really kind of moving strongly here though. Increased volume. Will we see this continue to trade uptrend towards the top side? Looking at it in the lower term time frames, is it possible? Yeah, we could still push on a wee bit. Maybe we see this happen on an intraday basis, and we push up the 50 simple period moving average at 519. If we respect that, if we respect 519 and don't and continue to go up, you know, and where this exists whenever you happen to be looking at the charts, you know, thereafter, then very good overall. So that's good. Oscillators, yeah, bearishly divergent here with these highs. If we pull back, if we don't, the counterintuitive point is here that we really need to keep pushing on. Otherwise, we're going to have bearish divergence. On the large time frames, if we keep pushing on, we're going to definitely see a pullback of larger percentage points overall ish. So you're looking between 550 to 519 if you're looking for good entries. If that breaks, then the next point you're looking down to is 430 to 440. I wouldn't hold trades between those two zones currently. Everything's looking very bullish on this one in the broader perspective point of view. Although if we do see a pullback, then of course taking out 550 is taking out our previous high and pushing us back within the bounds of the Bollinger Bands, and we could therefore see movements down towards these two lower zones. If we did come down to the lower end, it'd be testing the 200 simple. We've tested the 50 numerous times since the golden cross in the daily time frame. We will at some point in the future test the 200 simple. Whether that happens now or not is to be seen, but it doesn't look very likely. But that would be let's just like game over at $3 is basically what I'm saying at that point. Okay, so that'll do. Yeah, anything else you want to know, just be sure to tune in sometime. We're just right on the edge of getting this to turn into a real positive bullish trend. And then of course, well, suppose what people want to look at is where we could be going next, right? And what I want to point out is that there's quite a good deal of targets towards the top side next for us, like quite a good deal of them. We're past the 786 at this point. If we retrace back down the way we retesting off of the the golden pocket zone, coming back down to the golden pocket in the 50 simple period moving average and the 24-hour time frame, and you'd be looking up here first off, $8 coming up towards our previous high, but then you're looking towards $15 and $18, and in fact even beyond, and your target ultimately on this one is $27, right? So that's what people want to know. That's what the truth is. That's where the bullish trend could take us on this one. That's all fantastic, but the best buy entries and everything else, the sort of thing that people don't seemingly want to know or subscribe for, is everything we spoke up to that point. So cool, excellent, fantastic, best of both worlds on that one.